Hey, Kyle is wonderful here again, this time with another English transcription of the backstage comments from New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Japan Road show from July 4th, 2022. And you can go find these for free on njpwworld.com. I just like to put them in, not necessarily act them out, but just have it for people that if they don't want to read the subtitles or whatever. There's always great stories that come out of these. So most of my goal is to encourage people to get into these backstage segments and commentaries and these press conferences because they do further the story along. And it's really good stuff. It seems like most of them are unscripted or they pretty much say whatever they want. So a lot of it's really good. A lot of like heartfelt things are said, unlike a lot of other promotions where they just have to say whatever the promoter wants. So let's just get right into it. If you missed the show from July 4th, this I have the review. So I've been putting out a review of each show, and then later on I'll do only a video about the backstage comments. So I've got the last two events from July 3rd and 4th up and reviewed, and I've got the July 3rd backstage comments. So this is the July 4th backstage comments, and we'll just go right into it. The first match was Minoru Suzuki defeating Kosei Fujita, and Fujita's in the back. He's holding his arms hanging, and his head's hanging, I mean. And he says, Minoru Suzuki used to be my idol. Used to be. But now that I work in the same ring as he does, all admiration has gone out the window. Day in and day out, I'll live with the goal of surpassing him. I won't ever let go of this anger. Minoru Suzuki, I will beat you. Good promo there from the young lion. Suzuki comes in a little bit later and says, this goes to anyone who comes at me, be they mouse, rabbit, or rat. I will crush them all with my might. That is what I do. Besides any energy expended, it's always an enjoyable experience for me. There are many different ways to slice a fish. You know that, right? You can string up a fish, you can flatten them, you can pierce them through the head. Every fish can be filleted differently, but it's always delicious. Suzuki with the creepy promo here. So we go after the second match, which was TAKA Michinoku was going to fight a mystery opponent, X. The X ended up being Satoshi Kojima, making his return with the GHC title in hand. So after Kojima was revealed as the mystery opponent, he got on the mic in front of the crowd, just like Tiger Mask did yesterday when Tiger Mask was parading around his newly won All Japan Junior Heavyweight title. Here, it'll be the Noah's GHC Heavyweight title. And Kojima just simply says, on July 16th, I will defend this GHC title in the new Nippon Budokan against Kanoa. Thank you for your support. So, if you remember, Tiger Mask milked his time in front of the crowd yesterday on the mic. Kojima just with a quick um, message here. But then he's in the back, and Kojima talks a little bit more. He says, after 2 months, I'm back. I'm reminded that there's no place like home. That being said, come to Nippon Budokan on July 16th to watch Kojima defend in Noah. That's it. Thank you. But then the press actually stopped Kojima and said, the press asked him, what was it like to be X today? So Kojima says, X? Sorry, when I hear X, my body tenses up on its own. Been happening ever since April 30th. But I was just a regular X, not a supreme X. Anyway, whenever I see X, Y, or Z on a card, I'll be there, just like today. To all the X fans worldwide, wait for my return. Thank you. Taka Michinoku doesn't talk. He wasn't looking interested in the match either. He didn't look very happy today. Anyway, after the third match, it was Great Bash Heel defeating, and that's Makabe and Honma defeating Hiroshi Tenzan and Young Lion Oiwa. So Oiwa's the first to talk. He says, being a young lion doesn't excuse losing. Even young lions can pick up a win. Yesterday and today, I fell to the Boston Crab. That's my best move. That makes it sting even worse. Next time, I'll make one of my mentors tap out, or I'll pin him. So now Tenzan walks in and up to Oiwa and says, you okay? This is just the beginning. You did well. You can do better. Just go for it. Don't hold back. Take the fight to them. You fell short today, which means you have room to grow. Go for it. And then they say thanks to each other. Oiwa leaves, and Tenzan continues. I teamed with Fujita today. Fujita yesterday. Oiwa yes. Why can't Fujita? I teamed with Fujita yesterday. Oiwa today. They're great, but I want to make them greater. I can stand there and micromanage them, but it's up to them to use what they learn. They're both good kids, so I hope they'll listen well and stay on the path to become stronger. That was today, but tomorrow I team with X. I didn't know Koji was X today, even after seeing him in the locker room. It's been a while. That bastard didn't even greet me. Whatever. I'll leave tomorrow's X to your imaginations. I'll have Makabe and Honma as opponents again, and along with X, we'll kick their asses. Good stuff by Tenzan. It would be interesting if it was Ten Cozy again, but I'm assuming it won't be. It seemed like Cozy was just here for this one match and then quickly leave again. So we've had Tiger Mask was the first. Now the reason there's X's is because the third young lion on the tour, Nakashima, got injured. So they brought Tiger Mask in yesterday, the new NJPW junior champ. They brought Kojima in today. So with the GHC heavyweight title, is there someone else out there in Japan with another major title that's could make a return? So we'll have to wait and see. We don't have to wait long though. As soon as I finish this recording of the backstage comments, I will be watching the July 5th event, and then I'll put up a review as soon as I finish watching. So Makabe in now, and he says, "What do you want to know? Ask me, bastard. Hey, we're not here to waste our time with youngins or new recruits. The opening match in NJPW, give me something good, bastards. Oiwa, you calling out our legends? You're about to get an ass whooping. Okay? The same next time and the time after. Tenzan, the same goes for you. Pardon me, but I'll drown you in a sea of blood. That's all I've got to say. You got something for me?" And then someone says, "Oiwa seems to be making great strides." Makabe says, "Well, if he wasn't, he wouldn't be here, would he? You have to make strides to survive. Everyone here is well aware of their progress. But everyone here, Kokeshi and I aren't impressed. Know why? When we showed up, we weren't pampered and praised. We came through under much harsher circumstances. Get me? You think we got in this position by being coddled? Hell no. You fans are here at the venue, watching at home, buying the DVDs. I'll show each and every one of you. New Japan isn't a picnic. You get me? The opening match against Young Ones? That's an insult to us. I'll take on whoever they put in front of me. That's how Kokeshi and I made it here. But keep on spoiling them, see what happens. How much did the fans pay to be here today? Those are their wages they're spending on us. So let's show them something good. That's my pride as a pro wrestler talking. I'll repeat this until you guys are sick of it. But I wouldn't waste my breath on people I didn't think had a chance. Those punks, Oiwa, Fujita, Nakashima. Step up to me, I'll make it look easy. Kokeshi and I have conquered World Tag League and the tag belts. You think you have a chance against us in a fair fight? Do something crazy, or else it won't be fun. Pretty good and long promo here by Tenzan, really, really hammering home that he thinks the younger generation are being coddled. But I guarantee you, A, they are a lot more than when Tenzan came in, and B, I bet Tenzan's mentors were thinking the same thing about Tenzan and Honma. Like, why are we coddling them so much? So I think it's just this thing that happens in every promotion throughout every place in the world where each generation's a little bit softer than the previous generation. It's just something that happens, I think. I think it's because maybe like somewhere in the back of their mind they were like, "Oh, I had to go so hard. Yeah, it helped me, but I wish it would have been a little easier." And then that trickle down effect happens and to the point where we are now. So anyway, Hanma just quickly says, "Good job, Oiwa. Yeah, right, you punk. No matter how much you grow, you aren't beating me and Makabe. But I do regret that Makabe got the win and not me. As the G1 E block entrance, I must get these wins. And tomorrow we face Tenzan and X, whatever that is, or whoever that is. From today, I have a feeling it's that one guy. If it is him, it'll be very interesting. Whoever X is, he's getting a Kokeshi." Small but sweet promo there. Then after the next match, it was Suzuki-Gun's El Desperado, Taichi, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeating Clark Connors, the DKC, and Yuji Nagata. Nagata and DKC walk up, and thankfully somebody told DKC since yesterday not to talk with a mouth guard, and maybe DKC watched my video. Shout out DKC. But DKC says, "I want to fight hard. I want to make NJPW my home. I want to fight for the fans out there." Then Yuji Nagata sends off the DKC, and Yuji says, "For now, he shouldn't be bothered by the result. As long as they keep going this hard, something good will come. As for me, I didn't have a lot to do, just a warm up for me. But if I come back here, I want to go all out and have a worthy fight. Not possible with those guys today. That's all. So Clark Connors storms in, and this one gets really interesting. So bear with me here. We got a lot going on. Clark Connors storms in and yells, "Moron! Stupid MFer! El Desperado!" The reason I'm so pissed off right now is because isn't because I have a concussion. It's not because I got my ass kicked out there and choked out. It's because yesterday, ELD, this SOB, said he didn't want to come to America. All of a sudden, you hear a really muffled. So this is me talking now. You hear a really muffled, like you knew exactly who it was because there's only one person in New Japan that wears a mask that covers his mouth, and you just hear "shut the F up." Then El Desperado comes into the picture. He puts his hands on Clark's throat. They talk trash to each other. Connor says, "What? You don't what do you want to go back to America? You want John Moxley? If you want to go to America, you got to go through me and New Japan Strong first. That's my show. You might be running ass over here in Japan. I come over here and make my mark. People in America thought El Desperado was ass." And El Desperado says, "That's none of your business." And he says, "I don't care if they don't know me in America. I'll go there when I feel like it. Do you understand?" And he says, "Sorry, I can't have it translated here, and I can't say what I want, but I definitely know you're ticked off." And then we get forehead to forehead. They're about to fight. Connors then says, "You'll know exactly what I'm effing talking about." And then Desperado says, "What's your problem? I know, I know one of those words you just said." Connors, and they're talking in Japanese and English to each other, by the way. Connors says, "Oh yeah, you America, MFer." Connors leaves and Desperado says, "That guy's got a bad mouth. They told us not to use those words and he uses them freely. Nonsense. But fine, if he wants a piece of me, okay. America again, how many planes must I take? Well, why can't we just fight right here? Or will it be a big show over there? Do you have that kind of authority, huh? I'll make you realize what it means to call me out for a fight. Let's do it. Where? You tell me. It's not up to me. You set up a match. Make it happen. I'll be there as a guest. Don't make me do all the work." And then Desperado goes off. Taichi now comes in and says, "I feel lousy, and it's all because of you guys. Hey, you all better vote the Shinochi champion in the latest poll and pay the favor back on my YouTube. The staff there made me drink and drink. I drank until morning, and now I'm hungover. But hungover or not, I'll still have to show my pro wrestling. And if you guys don't win the poll, I'll shave each and every one of you." Short and sweet, pretty funny by Taichi. Interesting that I mean, I've tried to do jobs that involve labor hungover before and had a miserable time. I can only imagine if you're truly hungover trying to wrestle, it would be terrible. Anyway, after the next match, it was Chaos, Goto, Yano, and YOSHI-HASHI defeating the House of Torture, Dick Togo Evil, and Yujiro Takahashi. And Toru Yano again only says one line, just like yesterday. He says, "Hey Togo, what do you think of that new cage?" And then Yano walks off. Goto comes in. He says, "We will never give in to evil. House of Torture is about to be demolished." Then YOSHI-HASHI says, "They may have gotten the best of me yesterday, but I got them back today. Tomorrow's never six-man title match. They're not leaving with the belts. We are." And no comments from House of Torture here. We go on to the next match. It was Los Ingobernables de Japón in a 10-man tag. So all five of them defeated 6 or 9 Master Wato, Taguchi, Chaos members Okada and Ishii, and Alex Zane. So Okada says, "Like I said yesterday, it's almost as if G1 has begun, but today was a little different. Because A Block is filled with a lot of monsters. I may not have faced monsters today, but I'll enjoy it when I face the real kaiju." So, I mean, I get what he's saying about the A Block and the monsters, but his promo didn't really, maybe it was lost in translation because he connected two things that didn't connect. Anyway, Alex Zane is helping Master Wato, and Taguchi's here too. Wato says he's okay. Zane asks Taguchi if his butt is okay. Remember, Taguchi got a ton of butt offense, and like they all hit his butt a lot. Taguchi says, "Yeah, but it feels broken." Zane wants them to talk, but 6 or 9 leaves. Zane pulls Taguchi back. Taguchi says, "Alex is great." And then the press says, "Today, your buttocks was the target, more than usual." And then in English, Taguchi says, "No problem." Zane says, "He's got an invincible butt." They make some more butt jokes. And then Zane says, "Thanks for the meal." Not really entertaining. Hiromu now comes up and says, because remember, he's been saying some pretty important stuff. Yesterday, he was talking about how he's like, I keep wanting more junior tryouts. When can we finally have a junior tryout to get more junior division people? So anyway, Hiromu now says, this is sad. This is real. You can see that by the result. First off, let's start by filling Korakuen Hall at NJPW. All 4 sides packed. That's what everybody wants. That's what I want. So let's fill this place, first of all. It's terribly frustrating, but the truth. I'm also frustrated to have missed the big American show. I had a fever and couldn't board the plane. It's frustrating, and I can't get that back. That's a show I'll never get back. I'll probably never get a chance to team with Mr. Sting again, and that was a precious moment. But I will be in America on the 13th and the 30th, so lots to look forward to. Another one-on-one with Clark Connors, the Wild Rhino again, no problem. I'll give it my all in America, but first, Korakuen Hall tomorrow. I hope to see a lot of you there. So what Hiromu was talking about was there was a lot of empty seats in Korakuen Hall last night. The night before that wasn't too bad, and it'll probably be a little bit better tonight. But that kind of middle show, nobody was there. Shingo now says, today LIJ was all together for the first time in a while. It was fun, but Lil Wado, you're still not strong enough. You need a lot more training than that. It was a touch and go at moments. Junior or heavy, doesn't matter. In NJPW, we're all good. If you're not careful, a junior will beat you. Plenty of tough foreigners here, too. I'm also a bit jealous that Sonata and Ishii have begun their G1. I can't wait for my own opener in Sapporo. I'm itching for a G1 fight. Like I always say, I'm ever ready for a battle. So, pretty um by the book stuff here by Shingo. Naito has a really good promo here though, and now I'm about to check out the British Open golf because of this Naito promo. Oddly enough, so he says, today my amigo was sitting in the stands here at Korakuen. Do you know who I'm talking about? The pro golfer Yuto Katsugawa. Katsugawa, I think is how it's pronounced. And when he won his first tournament, he did my pose, and he does the eye with the fist up. And he looked pretty embarrassed, though, Naito says. If you're going to do it, have confidence. I mean, I'm always doing embarrassing poses. Reporter Ichigawa, you try it. Are you embarrassed? A bit? You don't need to be. Katsugawa, you're going to compete in the British Open next week, right? If you can win that prestigious event, I'll invite you to a special family restaurant. Please, look forward to it. I'll see the rest of you back here tomorrow. Reporter Ichigawa, adios. Still embarrassed? No reason to be. Good promo there. And yeah, I'm gonna check out the British Open so I can see if this guy gets invited to the Naito restaurant. Anyway, our main event is next, and we get some pretty crazy stuff going on here in the backstage comments section. So Bullet Club did defeat. It was Kenta and Taiji Ishimori defeating Tanahashi and Kushida. Ishimori made Kushida tap out, which was somewhat shocking, but not really if you think of it as, oh, you kind of got to pay your dues for leaving for 3 years, and kind of deal. After Bullet Club won the main event, Tanahashi and Kenta were brawling to the back, remember, and then Ishimori gets on the microphone after just tapping out Kushida, and Kushida is still ringside. So Taiji Ishimori says, I won. Kushida, I said I would put you to the test, and you failed. You want to challenge me? You've got to be kidding. You thought you could just show up and beat me? Don't take me lightly, bastard. Let me say this. You were a long way from the IWGP Junior belt. What do you have to say about that? And then Kushida just gets up and crawls away in shame. Ishimori continues, nothing. Go home. And then Kushida just leaves. The announcers put over, oh, that's kind of embarrassing and hard to watch. And then Ishimori does. They're like, oh, but Ishimori is standing triumphantly. So once Kushida's gone, Ishimori continues, well, for now, I guess I don't know who the next challenger will be, but I'll defend this belt all over and prove that I am the definitive junior champion. In the end, the most important thing, look at me. I'll show you greatness and strength. It's reborn, he says in English. The last part. So wow, we go straight from that to Kenta and Tanahashi are brawling backstage, and we get to see it. So Kenta is standing over Tanahashi, and he says, let him apologize to me. And then Kenta shows the 2-foot giant scar on his side/back. And what a big nasty scar that is. Kenta drags Tanahashi down the steps. throws him right into the wall next to the interviewer area. Kenta then mounts and punches Tanahashi while saying, "Say you're sorry for my back injury in front of the camera. Apologize for the wounds you caused so the camera can see it." And then Tanahashi says, "No way," while Kenta's now pulling his hair and mounted still. Kenta says, "If you do something wrong, you have to apologize for it. Who raised you? You have to apologize when you do something bad." Now Kenta's putting the boots to Tanahashi and tells the camera and the press, "After he apologizes, burn this to a DVD and send it to me. CD would be fine, or even a mini disc." So Kenta leaves. Tanahashi's still on the ground recovering. He takes his time to get um, his bearings and says, "I dropped my guard. Please watch my hair, or watch the hair." And then just like that, uh, just like there's someone I want revenge on, Kenta wants revenge on me. And Tanahashi's about to walk off, but Kenta comes back with more punches and says, "Apologize for what you did. Camera, record his apology. How did your parents raise you?" So Kushida finally saves Tanahashi now because Kushida was having his own moment. And Kenta leaves. Kushida's super tired, goes on the ground, falls on the ground coughing. He's definitely not used to these longer matches after being in like 5, 6, 7 minute matches in WWE and barely having matches, period, this last like year. But Kushida yells, "Get it together. I want that belt around my waist one more time." And then Kushida leaves without even helping Tanahashi up, who eventually gets up and leaves. So last thing we get is Ishimori in the back, and he says, "I said I'd evaluate him. I don't think he's at the challenger level, but I did say I'd take my time in evaluating him. I'm a kind guy, so I'll give him one more chance. It'll be thorough. My name will become synonymous with evaluation. If others want to be tested, step up. But you better come at a level better than the last title defense against Hiromu. Don't just step out with no merit, not needed." On a personal note, that was the first time Kenta and I teamed in 13 years. Do you understand? 13 years. A lot of history in that ring. In the end, what I really wanted to say was 13 years later, I'm thrilled to have worked with Kenta again. So that was it. Before we end the video, I did go and look up what match it was that Ishimori was referencing 13 years ago. First of all, Kenta and Ishimori have been teaming or against each other 272 matches in their career. And I'm pretty sure the match Ishimori was talking about was from July 25th, 2009, during the Noah Summer Navigation 2009 tour. It was the semifinals of the Nippon TV Cup Junior Heavyweight Tag League. And the team of Katuro Suzuki and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, known as Disobey, beat Kenta and Ishimori. Then 13 years and 108 matches where they were both either together as a 3-man, 4-man, 5-man team or on opposite sides. So 13 years and 108 matches where they were both in it together, and they finally have another team together in a 2-on-2 match. So that was pretty interesting, and that'll close out our my video here. I'm gonna go watch the event from July 5th now, and I'll be right back in a couple hours when I finish that with the review. So you guys have a great one, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.